The Brazilian National Film Unit presents How to Deal with Sheet Prolapse without having to physically call or go anywhere or do literally anything, aka the YouTube comment. Yeah, well, that's how I piss whenever I jerk off. Oh shit, somebody get my pot out of the rain. I'm not responsible, I'm not responsible, I'm not responsible, I'm not responsible. Oh, come on, I need this emergency manicure stat. I've been lying to you, Chief. We've had communication all this time. Nice, but what does a strict pussy have to do with floods?
But the operator said as soon as there was a line fixed, he'd put me through.
You should know how expensive time travel is, especially in New Zealand.
The headlines here are full of it. It's a big thing to ring you, but it's worth it to know that you're all safe.
And did perhaps any of them hit the potholes?
The whole of the post office is normally under varying degrees of pressure,
especially when they must substitute M&Ms for keyboard keys.
Pressure on any of our sections: telephone, telegraph, radio, or postal.
Sometimes the odd skinned animal.
You start a series of activities which are only made possible by a vast expenditure on delicate equipment.
We suggest sit down the same tunes the country's going down. Hey look, my shipment of Jenkum has arrived. You could say this year's D&D tournament is really poppin'. Remember, the VIP ribbon incident is not to leave this office, understood? Wait a second, I'm supposed to be typing here? Of course you could see the mass marketing and confetti making.
Inland and overseas messages is initially governed by recording variously combined perforations on a paper tape.
We mumble and screech like cavemen and expect everyone else in the world to explain what that fucking meant.
The message is in this way transmitted to Himatangi, where it's retransmitted.
Where's the light below the nuclear sign supposed to be blinking like that?
Contact with all overseas countries, at the same time supplementing
the
existing submarine
compound chicken.
service. Himatangi transmits macro
Where's
receives.
No cook?
High on a hill overlooking the Tasman
Is the stage of many a shootout between my organised militia and the government of India.
With the outside world. Where Himatangi speaks, Macra listens.
Conversing with HR on what to do with his white crusty arse. There we go, my manifesto done. All I need now is my AR-15 and my gumboots.
Oh, we're just checking, see him.
I come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog's a bitch-ass motherfucker. He pissed on my fuck.
Hello, London.
Do you have Prince Albert in a can? Man, we've heard that one since 1897. We're not falling for it again.
Go ahead now, please.
Hello, Alan, how are you?
He asked, staring across the room to his various victims.
From you.
Oh god, he's calling on a Samsung phone, isn't he?
Oh, yes, should be good for all cause, isn't it, George?
Make sure to send him 2 bags of flaming dog poo. I especially hate him.
For instance, photographs can sound very odd indeed.
Does this crank go up to 11?
Practically any facsimile can be radio transmitted. Signature, fingerprint, document.
And all the machine demands you use a quart of your blood every day. It of course increases every day, of course.
Picture finished now.
With the flick of a switch, 100 cities in China go without power for a week. Remember to test the buoyancy of your photographs, as you will be lining your ship with it. I tell you, these AI-generated photos are nuts.
The collecting, integrating, and dispersal of news from all parts of the world
can only be properly controlled with enough money and power and influence. And here we show you a more practical use of the New York Times. Fat blunts to repair yourself for reading the Washington Post.
Mail service brings the world to the door of even the most isolated settler.
Why, even an incel Eskimo can receive the news.
But there are still many isolated communities for which Mail Day is a day to look forward to.
Wells Fargo Sable coming down the stream and hope it don't have monkeypox. The natives are actually quite insulted if you don't crash into the harbor. And here, children, you see where the Arab slave trade begins? New Zealand, where all the women wear the same ugly blouse. And that fucking head is somehow in style. Hey, don't laugh at it, Harris there. He could have easily beat you to death with that, but he didn't. Pound of rocks, pound of crack, whole sheet of LSD, mason jar of shrooms, heroin with a street value up to 80 million, and some free perfume samples. By the way, I intentionally tossed all the birthday card reams overboard and gave you all the jury duties. Says here the VS5 trap you send your sister killed the 70-year-old niece, and she's suing you for everything you got.
From the mainland. But everyone's on the phone, and all they have to do is to
Rub
give the
their
crank an
big
extra
meaty
long ring,
genitals
and
against the
radio
phone.
automatically cuts in and connects them to the Auckland Exchange.
Hello, Auckland. It's Port Fitzroy here.
Scratches chin, furrows brow. No.
May I have Wellington, please? 48698. And what delay is there on the Wellington line?
So you were
In fact,
doing
with
good at
radio
English
telephony,
up
what it
until
is
that
today,
point.
No person is ever really isolated. He merely lives on a street that's rather longer than most.
Oh, you fucking believe that? Try to get in contact with your governor, or even your mayor for that matter. Pause the video, try to contact your mayor, see how long it actually takes you.
Very well indeed. He's at Covia and enjoying himself very much there.
I guess those buying to English lessons are really paying off. And now we cut to a beach made entirely of manure. Whoever designed this iron must be extreme scat fetishes. Sure, smoke a pipe in the crowded room, that's healthy. This ship could be mine if only I could reach for the knife, press it right up to his chin.
Roger Mike, Nan King.
Answering. Receiving you loud and clear, Bob. We'll be there in 2 hours.
Well, there's the Dong Island
Post
again.
office activities is one of interwoven facilities.
We put a
Perhaps
bunch of
interlinked
small
would be
phones
a
into
better
a vat
word
of
to
wool.
use, for there's constant link between telephone, telegraph, radio, and cable.
Anything that involves Americans does not factor in, especially with the ball scatology. Give me you're tired, you're poor, you're hungry, and let me find the right rock to bash him in. That's how a nihilist must view society. Everyone hunched over, worshipping a rock. A rock producing winning lottery tickets, how fun!
Auckland Radio, good afternoon. Go ahead, please.
That microphone cornetto sure was tasty. Oh look, it's a building from the School of Ugly. Request permission to start recording my diss track.
Thanks. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yo, Nas and Biggie almost Megma compared to me.
Franklin's for me, please, if you would, and ask them to put a bag of potatoes on this week's boat for me, please.
Not sure what bag of potatoes has to do with the Christchurch shooting, but okay.
Thank you very much. Cheerio.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, mate.
It's 3 o'clock.
It's in the tolls section that the post office department experiences the greatest pressure.
Tony, I got your fucking hand in a fucking vice grip.
Multi-channel cables called coaxial cables are being introduced.
Red wire connected to the blue wire connected to the dead kid.
Connected at various intervals, coaxial cables are able to carry 960 conversations at one time.
Thousands
And
in broken hearts and shattered dreams a day. Who could be better? With a little drop of Smurf's blood, we can receive calls all the way from Jakarta.
Newest of post
Hi,
office
Bobby.
facilities to
You wanna
be
go for a ride?
public is the mobile radio telephone, which is at present being used by ambulances, consumer service organizations, and taxis.
Each telephone contains a bomb which will go off with the phrase "Lucky Bunny Pee-Pee in the woods" is not uttered 15 times a day.
The option is always on service, a service that affects the lives of all of us who want to keep in touch.
Which is why we are seeing this mass epidemic of people cutting telephone wires. That is the most code for send nudes, pretty lady. Well, that's not true, is it? Death is only the beginning.